Good morning, and welcome to UMBC's undergraduate commencement exercises. The ceremony will begin in a few minutes, and we ask that you please take your seats. First, a few notes for your safety and comfort. Please note the exits throughout the arena, in particular the ones nearest you. Emergency medical services are available on the concourse level behind section 101. During the ceremony, please do not leave your seats to take photographs or videos. Aisles must remain clear at all times, and guests are not allowed on the main floor. As we prepare to begin our ceremony, please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices. We ask that all guests stay until the end of the ceremony out of respect for our graduates and UMBC. Now, please turn your attention to the far end of the arena floor and stand for our commencement procession. And please welcome our UMBC Brass Quintet. The procession of graduates is led by the Students' Marshal, Dr. Kyung On Yoon, the 2023 recipient of the Presidential Teaching Professor Award, an assistant professor and coordinator of Korean in the Department of Modern Languages, Linguistics, and Intercultural Communication. She is accompanied by our student marshals, Imani Conway, a student in public health, and Evan Sheldon, a student in physics. faculty and staff procession is led by Dr. Matthew Pelton, the 2023 Presidential Research Professor and Professor and Chair of the Department of Physics. He is joined by Ms. Tricia Wells, Staff Marshal, the 2023 Presidential Distinguished Staff Award recipient for exempt staff, and Assistant Vice Provost for the Division of Professional Studies. They are accompanied by a Student Marshal, Sylvia Hall, a student in Biological Sciences. The faculty and staff marshals are carrying batons that the UMBC Alumni Association gave to the university in honor of our 40th anniversary in 2006. The platform party is led by the Grand Marshal, Dr. Susan McDonough, President of the Faculty Senate and Associate Professor of History. The Grand Marshal carries the University Mace, a symbol of presidential authority. Used only on formal academic occasions, UMBC's Mace was commissioned by the Alumni Association for UMBC's 20th anniversary in 1986.
second commencement exercises of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County will now be in order. Please remain standing for our national anthem performed by Imani Giri. Imani is graduating this morning with dual degrees in psychology and K-12 choral music education. She's excited to be working as a full-time elementary school music teacher in Anne Arundel starting this fall. Imani is honored to represent the music department today. Her performance will be accompanied by a presentation of the colors by UMBC's Naval ROTC program. Please remain standing throughout the anthem and until the colors have retired.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you, Imani. That was an extraordinary rendition. And thank you to the NROTC. Congratulations on your graduation day. Everyone, please be seated. As we welcome you to UMBC, we wish to acknowledge that UMBC was established upon the land of the Piscataway and Susquehannock peoples. Over time, citizens of many more indigenous nations have come to reside in this region. We humbly offer our respect to all past, present, and future indigenous people connected to this place. Now, I am pleased to introduce the 6th president of UMBC, Dr. Valerie Shears Ashby.
Good morning. Okay, we're going to do it one more time. Good morning. And there it is. What a glorious occasion. On behalf of our entire community, it is my privilege to welcome you to the 82nd commencement of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. I'm just going to wait. In addition to this morning's undergraduate ceremony, graduate students were awarded master's and doctoral degrees in a separate ceremony yesterday. This afternoon, we will also award undergraduate degrees in the College of Natural and Mathematical Sciences and in the College of Engineering and Information Technology. To the families and friends of our graduates this morning, we are delighted that you have joined us from near and far to honor and celebrate these outstanding students. You can clap for your families and friends. Yes, you can. I also want to welcome the graduating students, family members, and friends who are joining us online. Thank you for being a part of today's ceremony. You all are an easy applause crowd. I should just carry you around everywhere I go. Thank you as well to our faculty and staff and to my fellow campus leaders who are here with us today. To the academic and administrative leaders, shared governance leaders, members of the Commencement Executive Committee, and the Presidential Faculty and Staff Award recipients, welcome and thank you for being here with us today. It is now my pleasure to share a short video with greetings from the 63rd Governor of the State of Maryland, the Honorable Wes Moore.
Hello, class of 2024 graduates. It's Governor Wes Moore, and I want to extend my warmest congratulations to each and every one of you on reaching this significant milestone. Whether you're a recent graduate, a returning student, the first in your family to pursue higher education, a dedicated member of our armed services, or someone striving for an advanced degree, today is a testament to your dedication to lifelong learning. You haven't just invested in your education, you're investing in your dreams. As you stand on the threshold of new beginnings, remember to carry forward all the things you learned and experienced. Pledge to harness your knowledge for the greater good by enriching your own lives and making a positive impact on the lives of others. Stay true to your principles and your values. Never cease your pursuit of personal and intellectual growth. And let's work together towards creating a brighter future for our state, our nation, and our world. Thank you for your dedication and best wishes on your personal and your professional success.
Thank you to Governor Moore. It is now my pleasure to introduce Regent Farah Hillel, a member of the University System of Maryland Board of Regents. Farah is also a UMBC Retriever, a Sondheim Public Affairs Scholar, and a member of UMBC's Honors College. She is a member of the class of 2024 and is graduating today with a dual degree in political science and global studies. We are pleased to have her here to deliver greetings on behalf of the Board of Regents. Join me in welcoming Regent Hillel.
Thank you, President Shears Ashby. On behalf of the Board of Regents and as a fellow member of the UMBC class of 2024, let me say congratulations. It is great to see so many familiar faces in the audience today. I'm pleased to be here with our President, Dr. Valerie Shears Ashby, and our administration, faculty, and staff. Thank you for all that you do. Thanks for your collective vision, leadership, and hard work. UMBC continues to thrive as an institution nationally known for its educational excellence and impactful service. I'm honored to have served 2 years as a USM student regent and to bring greetings on behalf of the board to recognize UMBC class of 2024. But I would like to take a moment to address you all not as a regent, but as one of your peers. I cannot graduate today without acknowledging the nearly 20,000 children in Palestine who will never do the same. Thank you. The children in Sudan, Congo, Syria, Haiti, Armenia, Afghanistan, the Uyghur, Tigray, and Rohingya people, and so many more. Without acknowledging that only about 1 in 10 Baltimore City public school students complete a college degree. Completing this degree is a privilege. Each of us and our loved ones have sacrificed in different ways to obtain it. With this higher education status comes greater social responsibility. We must engage with the world consciously. We must prioritize the moral imperative, not the financial one. Whether it is the Piscataway and Susquehannock land we are on right now, the exploitation of incarcerated people who make every piece of furniture for this campus, or the weapons of mass destruction that end thousands of lives around the world, our degrees come with historical, local, and global implications. Of course, we're not silent. We advocate for change, and our work is not yet complete. I do not doubt that we will all continue achieving great things, and just like we advocated for our university to reassess its actions, it is important we do the same in the systems we engage with in the future. As we go into the world, we must be catalysts for positive change. Today, we each become an enduring part of UMBC's legacy and take our next steps in life's journey. I wish you all the very best and hope we stay in touch with each other and our Retriever community. And with that, once again, I offer every one of you a well-deserved congratulations.
Thank you, Regent Hillel. We appreciate the support of the Board of Regents. Our Provost, David Dowalder, is unable to attend today. It is my pleasure to introduce Kimberly Moffitt, Dean of the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, to provide a greeting.
On behalf of the scholarly community we call UMBC, I extend my congratulations to our graduates today. UMBC's faculty, staff, and administrators held high expectations for you when they welcomed you here as a member of the UMBC community. Those expectations were based on your promise as scholars, and today we have a chance to celebrate your fulfillment of that promise. You would join the tradition of UMBC alumni who, through their lives and through their works, continue to advance our understanding of our humanity, our democracy, our interactions with the natural world, and our efforts to make a positive difference in the lives of others. Your diploma represents not just your academic achievement, but the friendships you formed, the faculty who guided your learning, and the family and friends who supported you along the way. I hope your experience as a member of the UMBC community provided you with the opportunity to clarify the values we share together: excellence, commitment, hard work, respect, and integrity. So look to the future, make the most of the talents bestowed upon you, extend the resources of your mind and heart. Enjoy a rich life in the knowledge that each day you have worked for and the relationships that you continue to make a difference with. Congratulations. And I now have the distinct pleasure in which I am delighted to introduce our 2024 valedictorian, Nyla Howell. Nyla is graduating today with a double major from both geography and environmental systems, as well as sociology. Nyla's interest in addressing disaster resilience through a Black liberation lens began even before she arrived here at UMBC, when she served as co-chair on the National Youth Preparedness Council of the Federal Emergency Management Administration in high school. She is passionate about the needs of her own community as well as others. During her time at UMBC, Nyla has engaged in and mentored, as well as participated in independent research here at Rutgers as well, and through the McNair Scholars Program. She has presented interdisciplinary research on culture and disaster preparedness at national conferences, and as well as a first authored peer-reviewed paper in press at the Middle States Geographer. Nyla's independent research in Baltimore on the Harlan Park Cultural Resilience Initiative helps community members to express how disasters affect them and to define goals and political demands for more robust resilience planning. Her leadership and outstanding commitment to public service have been recognized with the Jacqueline Rabowski Scholarship and a France Merrick Scholarship, and she is a leader in the Shriver Living Learning Community, as well as the Retriever Essentials Program. After graduation, she plans to pursue a PhD in geography at Rutgers University. Where she will be a part of the NSF's prestigious Graduate Research Fellowship Program. Please join me in welcoming a proud member of the CAHSS community, our valedictorian, Nyla Howell.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Dean Moffitt, for that awesome introduction. I want to start off by congratulating everyone, graduates, family members, guests, faculty, and everyone in between. After navigating a global pandemic and not knowing whether and how our world would ever return to normal, you have made it to this day, and that is worth celebrating. Being here today is truly the result of a resilience that could have only been bred in community. So if everyone could just take a moment and say thank you out loud to your family, friends, and supporters that have gotten you to this moment. So, personally, I would like to start off by thanking God, who is the head of my life. I would like to thank my family, especially my grandparents, who have now passed away. And I would like to thank my friends and my mentors who have gotten me here today. Could we also make some noise in our appreciation for the College of Arts and Humanities and Social Sciences, the School of Social Work, and the Erickson School? One thing I love about each school in our college is that most of our classes are people-centered, and they focus on how we can contribute to or serve our society. When we hear the word service, most of us typically think of traditional community service, where you serve in a food pantry or help out your community through cleaning it up, which are all fantastic things. But I ask you all to indulge me for a few moments and consider expanding that idea of service. We all serve in various ways. In the future, our education majors may serve by finding creative ways to teach the next generation of world changers. Our psychology majors may serve by discovering new ways to care for our mental health. And our geography and environmental systems majors may serve by helping us address climate change and by making us some really cool maps. But we'll also serve with more than our degrees. We serve those around us daily by using our time and our talent to encourage one another, give each other advice, and to take care of the ones we love. Dear fellow graduates, after today, we will all be headed on our own paths, and I know I'm not the only one nervous about what the future has in store. However, I want to encourage us all to keep this expanded definition of service in mind as we enter these new spaces, because it has the power to shape our future. Transitioning into college was tough for me. I was actually rejected from most schools and scholarships and was blessed that UMBC accepted me. I struggled a lot with imposter syndrome, it felt inadequate, and I had no idea what college would be like since high school was so difficult. In the background of my uncertainty was about my ability to succeed. We were at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, and many of us weren't sure whether and how we would get out of it. However, during my first year, I signed up to help out at UMBC's Retriever Essentials Food Pantry, partly because a traditional form of service was a requirement for the Striver Living Learning community, and partly because I thought it would provide an escape from my uncertainty and self-doubt. But this experience ended up being so much more than that. It was my launch pad. It empowered me to take control of the legacy I wanted to leave here at UMBC, a legacy of supporting and helping others through research, leadership, and relationships. Serving this way built my confidence in my ability to make an impact and to be excellent by using my talents and being my authentic self. What I'm getting at is that I genuinely believe that if we approach this next phase of life, despite all of its uncertainty, with the intention of caring for others and living out our personal understandings of service, we will have the launch pads we need to do more than we ever believed we could. If we are true to the various ways we know how to serve, we'll be excellent in whatever we do in the future as we positively impact the people and the spaces around us. As I close, I would like the class of 2024 to take a moment to reflect on the memories of joy and to let go of any pain, discouragement, or feelings of inadequacy from this period. The future is ours, and it's our turn to lean in and walk into it fully. Let's take the lessons we've learned at UMBC and jump into the future confident that we can leave our mark on the world. Thank you.
Nyla, that was phenomenal. Congratulations to you. Next, it is my privilege to introduce our commencement speaker, Mena Chian. Dr. Chian, who earned a Master of Fine Arts degree from UMBC in 2002, is a new media artist, scholar, and activist who serves as Dean of Undergraduate Studies at the Maryland Institute College of Art. Dr. Chian is best known for her polypop paintings that draw inspiration from pop art and social realism. Her work intersects politics and pop art in subversive and provocative ways as it advocates for global peace and Korean unification. Her thematic focus includes geopolitical and contested spaces, race, culture, and post-colonialism, and Asia's relationship to the Western world in global media culture. Born in Seoul, South Korea, as the daughter of a South Korean diplomat and cultural attaché, Dr. Chian grew up in Seoul, New York, Copenhagen, and Ottawa, which gave her a global perspective from an early age. She received a BFA in painting from Ewha University in Seoul, an MFA in painting from MICA, an MFA in imaging and digital art from UMBC, and a PhD in philosophy of media and communications from the European Graduate School, European University of Interdisciplinary Studies in Switzerland. That's what I say also, she was busy. She is a professor at MICA and has served previously as a visiting professor and lecturer at Ewha University in Seoul. Dr. Chian presently divides her time among Baltimore, New York, and Seoul. Today finds her in Seoul. We are so pleased that she could join us and was willing to join us virtually. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Minna Chian to deliver our commencement address.
Go.
Good morning, my loving UMBC community. Minna Chun here, your big sister. I love you till death do us apart, and I love you even more. Thank you, President Valerie Shares Ashby, for having me here today. What a great honor it is to be UMBC's 2024 graduation speaker. Thank you also to all the staff members who made today possible, to the faculty members who lifted every student towards this remarkable day, educating and mentoring them during their 4 years of academic growth, and to all the parents and legal guardians who shared nothing less than unconditional support to make your children's lives fulfilling by giving them the education that they deserve. And of course, to all the UMBC students whom I admire, you are the future of the world and global citizens. I'm so pleased to be here to address your graduation. Right now, you're in a liminal and transitional space. Time is frozen at the moment of recognition and celebration of your success, and you are morphing into your next phase of life as we speak. I am here with you, live, teleported, and tuning in from South Korea. I can see you and feel your presence over time and space. We coexist together between different time zones and continents with trans-Pacific harmony. Time and distance are constructs, and we are connected no matter what, beyond the recognized time-space continuum. I am so in awe of you, and I wish you one of the most incredible days of your lives as you graduate with a UMBC undergraduate bachelor's degree as a retriever. As I celebrate each of you, when you make it back as an alum, and when it is your turn to give a graduation speech, there is no doubt that you will be calling in from outer space. Please don't forget to invite me. For now, we should honor the land and earth we are grounded by and feel good about living together on this planet. While I know you are having the time of your life, I also understand that you are experiencing conflicted emotions. You may be disappointed that the world seems to be crumbling. You have the right to express your discontent and to protest global unrest and social injustices. I ask you now, but do you have the courage to forgive? Do you have what it takes to be a compassionate leader, to overcome adversities and hardship within your own lives and that of others? May you live a life that helps those around you and beyond. You can make a difference, small and big, by caring for others, promoting and encouraging a culture of care and love for the other, and honor and respect them, even past and future generations, because we are all human. You hold the right to be a futurist. A futurist thinks beyond the self and does the work during their lifetime for others in the future while honoring those of the past. What you do with your lives now, know it will make a difference for those and others in the future. I promise you that you are your own transgenerational experience and being. Please make your time worth all the while. And thinking about what you've already accomplished, know that everyone that surrounds you is so proud of you, that you have gained the skills and knowledge by studying, participating, collaborating, and placemaking during your time and education at UMBC. that you are passionate to continue to learn and be a student for life, as well as a teacher. I'm sure you have taught your teachers a thing or two during your time here. Learning from students is a part of the decolonizing process, and faculty indeed do learn from you, although they may not admit to it as much. Are you ready now to transform? From being a local hero to a global citizen? The answer is yes, absolutely. You're already thinking, working, and shaping things beyond your immediate circle and working towards the future. You are doing the works of the visions of the future, whether you know it or not. You walk the path of your visions, and you are what you imagine. You walk the path of your dreams, and in your dreams, you envision your future and reality that contours your existence and your loved ones. You exist between your past, present, and future. The remarkable words of Carl Sagan reminds us that you are made of star stuff, and from Donna Haraway, that your ontology is that of a cyborg, because as a hybrid machine and organism, you are a creature of social reality, as well as a creature of fiction. As you exist between sci-fi and social reality, you are the skies, land, water, and stars. The micro, macrocosms are undeniably within you. This is your internal power to change and make a dent in the universe. Every little thing you do impacts the world around you. What will you do to make the dent that helps the future? Will you help sustain Mother Earth, help make peace on Earth, share foods and goods in impoverished zones, and innovate new things to extend good living and health? Will you help the human race survive, live, and continue in our following morphed form of life? I ask you this because I know you are the cohort that can make a difference as leaders of our time. Thank you for making a difference, creating change, and having the transgenerational futurist impact that you are and will be having on all our lives. Thank you so very much. I would like to shout out to my son, Gerson Chun Croix, a UMBC alumni 21, and his girlfriend, Emily Harvey, who is graduating with you today, both seated in the house. Hi to you both, and see you soon in Korea. And I dedicate this graduation speech to my most incredible UMBC mentor, Dr. Kathy Odell. Hi, Kathy, who always lifted me and guided me to be myself, a Korean female global political pop artist, activist, and shaman futurist. Also, a special thank you to Dr. Phyllis Robinson, who advised me that to become an academic leader, you must do it with intent. I stand here leading with intention, thanks to you, thanks to Kathy, and the many faculty and staff of UMBC who have shown me the way. You are my support system and my global village. Congratulations to all the students. Dream big and partake in proactive future making through creativity and imagination. Back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Chien. That was phenomenal. So happy to have her give those inspiring remarks from Seoul. Now it is my pleasure to declare the convocation officially open for the awarding of earned degrees. Will all the graduates receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Fine Arts, please stand. Graduates, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the State of Maryland, given to the Board of Regents and to the Chancellor of the University System of Maryland, and by them entrusted to me, I hereby admit you to the degrees which you have earned during the course of your studies at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, in token whereof you shall be given a diploma with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. Congratulations. Thank you. Graduates, will you please be seated until directed by a commencement staff member? Before we invite our graduates to cross the stage, we want to first share a short video recognizing your graduates, our graduates, who are participating virtually today. Please help us in celebrating these outstanding students.
Leah E. Baker, magna cum laude. Brandon B. Sold, summa cum laude. Jennifer Codd. Samuel Ethan Daniels, cum laude. Catherine Fisher, magna cum laude. Megan Ellen Flagg. Thomas Keating Hitt, cum laude. Micah Landon Palmerino, cum laude. Pranab Sai Pigilam. Vikram Prabhakar. Asma Shamim.
Today, each graduate will receive a memento from the UMBC Alumni Association. Presenting the Alumni Association Board of Directors today, representing them, is Mr. Kevin Yang. Kevin is one of over 90,000 UMBC alumni worldwide. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in computer science and a bachelor's degree in financial economics in 2007. And he is founder of KRY Properties. Please join me in thanking Kevin for his support of UMBC. I now call upon Kimberly Moffitt, Dean of the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences.
Thank you, President Shears Ashby. I have the honor of welcoming the inspiring and empowered students of the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences who have completed all requirements for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Sciences.
Bachelor's candidates in the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. We now present the graduates in Africana Studies. Dominique Precious Damali. We now present the graduates in American Studies. Spencer Ellis Hanks, cum laude. Larissa Ann Quonen, cum laude. Cecilia O'Hara McElroy. Gustavo Sanabria. We now present the graduates in Ancient Studies. Michael P. Fisher, cum laude. Grace C. Gillard. We now present the graduates in Asian Studies. Andrew Richard Santalella. Annie Warren. We now present the graduates in dance. India Shayla Blake, magna cum laude. Erica Marie Dorler, cum laude. Alexandra Hope Fang, magna cum laude. Guadalupe Mariam Kone. Eva Wren McLaughlin. Rebecca Malika Mwendwa, cum laude. Caitlin Brianna O'Connor, magna cum laude. Stephanie O'Hare. We now present the graduates in economics. Usama Abdel Karim. Oluwatosin Adeshola Adekola. Shabita Alemu, cum laude. Thomas Michael Anawek, magna cum laude. Jeremiah Tosif Aslam. Benjamin David Alt, summa cum laude. James Andrew Bettendorf, magna cum laude. Nikolaus Borizanis. Ryan Joseph Campbell. Jose Julian Chavero. Ryan Chen, cum laude. Kyle Chung, cum laude. Owula Kwao Cleland. Haley Nicole Clifford. Snigdha P. Darji. Juliana May Falconer, cum laude. Zoya Faruqi. Chase Olson Fields. Tyler Harry, magna cum laude. Emily Elizabeth Harvey, magna cum laude. Alexis Kiera Johnson. Fawad Jumriani, cum laude. Gabriel Owen Kinslinger. Sophie Lillian Cohn, summa cum laude. Adamy Ocean Noor, cum laude. Isaiah Larson. Henry Layton. Kan-tuk Lei. Kai Xiong Lee, magna cum laude. Samreen Shabab Malik. J. Raj Mehra. Dylan Andrew Montville, cum laude. Justin Wynn. Ernest Ndudim Wajobi. Mora Ogendi, cum laude. Riddhi Patik Patel. Vishvesh Varun Ratakonda, magna cum laude. Brian Meyer Repkowski. Faris Dia Saeed, cum laude. Dave Viran Kumar Shah, cum laude. Sajib Hasnat Shah, cum laude. Stephen Rumford Seals. Zara Ahmed Siddiqui, cum laude. Alexandra Kate Silao, magna cum laude. Isabella Fontana, summa cum laude. Mary Therese Ellis. Brian Robert Tregoning, magna cum laude. Brendan Joseph Kennedy, cum laude. Ethan William Robinson. Mandisa Olive Taylor Pierce, cum laude. Benjamin Davis Walter. Daniel Dale Westbrook, magna cum laude. Matthew A. White, magna cum laude. Daniel Yang. Yasin Ayman Tolba. Angel Zhang, summa cum laude. We now present the graduates in Emergency and Disaster Health Systems. Onome Leila F.A. Alwe Boselli. Jacob Falcone, magna cum laude. Thomas Roy Jameson, cum laude. We now present the graduates in English. Julia Chang. Kimberly M. Christian. Natalie Marilyn Green, cum laude. Alejandro Gutierrez. Jillian Elise Johns, magna cum laude. Paulina Mariette Kassir. Christina Kakumani. Kira Hawk Longabao, magna cum laude. Saba Mahmood, cum laude. Grace A. Morris, magna cum laude. Sarah Rose Nove, magna cum laude. Lorraine Obuwar, cum laude. Abrielle Yvonne Pearson, magna cum laude. Andrew William Pierce, magna cum laude. Missaria Porter. Monica Richardson Mitchell. Erica May Unite Rigoroso. Sahlawi Sarah, cum laude. Caleb Schrader, magna cum laude. Leonardo Morin Swafford. Rain Vasquez, magna cum laude. Ellie Ann Wardman, summa cum laude. We now present the graduates in Gender, Women's, and Sexuality Studies. Claudette Omojola Bayet Williams. Katrisa Yvonne Chambers. Jordan Lee Packett, magna cum laude. We now present the graduates in Geography and Environmental Systems. Nyla Elan Howell, summa cum laude. Ariel Jason Barba Augustin. Shane D. Brennan. Celine Astus Brundridge. Andrew Buckingham. Tatiana Alba Chan. Sarah Kreutzer. Megan Davis. David Vu Do. James Keith Faulkner. Samuel Justice Russell Gevert. Jess Godinez, cum laude. Emma Grace Golden. Sahadat Naele Lewis Hamed Owens. Jafar Hussein. Waji Athar Khan. Radiat Arga Kedane. Joshua G. Kozak, magna cum laude. Mars Sun Lambert. Michaela Mi Hua Tai Vu Newman, magna cum laude. Angeline E. Pena. Samara Helen Pyfrom, cum laude. Suleiman Ali Shah. Mark Emery Unger. We now present the graduates in Global Studies. Mary Fritzi Flornel Verdejo Chavez, magna cum laude. Sekinat Taiwu Dosunmu. Lien Tin Huang, summa cum laude. Jonathan David Redfern, magna cum laude. Alexandra Trupkowitz. We now present the graduates in History. Brandon L. Bankert. Alexander Michael Bauserman, magna cum laude. Travis Allen Clatterbuck, summa cum laude. Bryce Creary, cum laude. William Michael Dorego, magna cum laude. Matthew J. Davidson. Usman Diop, cum laude. Lucy Riggin Fleckenstein, summa cum laude. Nicholas Sean Rowan Grempler, magna cum laude. Catherine R. Howe. Ali A. Ibrahim. Alexis Jacobs, cum laude. Samuel Leff. Catherine G. Marcotte. Shomara Mistralovic. Sophia Grace Nielsen, cum laude. Madeline Emma Pollock, summa cum laude. Thomas Stevens. Aminata Awa Chiam, magna cum laude. India Jasmine Kelly, cum laude. Kylie Jordan Plum, magna cum laude. David Charles Whitney. We now present the graduates in Media and Communication Studies. Adebanke Fatiha Abbasi. Amira Adigun. Sydney Alexandra Ashton, magna cum laude. Anthony Michael Chialfi. Christopher Min Duong. Kennedy B. Evans, magna cum laude. William Paw Forby, cum laude. Kevin Girton Jr. Lindsay Marie Gonzalez 14. Tao-Vi T. Huang. Kyle Matthew Hoff, cum laude. Mark Anthony Melchior, cum laude. Nadia Grace Mock. Dylan Vincent Nesteruk, magna cum laude. Tasaya Renee Nickens. Morgan Thompson, cum laude. Isaiah Dale Wardlaw. Reese Ariana Washington. Aaron Raphael Zaki. We now present the graduates in Modern Languages, Linguistics, and Intercultural Communication. Anais Socorro Andino, cum laude. Daniela Gabrielle Faustino, cum laude. Jaylon Gillespie. Angela Maria Green, cum laude. Siobhan Harvey, summa cum laude. Zoe Ruth Haug. Brendan Dow LeMaster, magna cum laude. Patrick James Megan, magna cum laude. Raven Nicole Mitchell, cum laude. Yorit Taylor, magna cum laude. Avonda Grace Van Gordon, cum laude. Ekenedilichukwu Joseph Eze. Imani Azagiri, summa cum laude. Adrian Widener, summa cum laude. We now present the graduates in music. Russell Edward Brown, magna cum laude. Dimitri Ryan Capoletti, cum laude. Austin James Cheney, magna cum laude. Bethan Leon Cruz, cum laude. Jefferson Douglas Hirschman, cum laude. Nicole Lynn Johnson, cum laude. Miles Leslie Malone. Keiko Lee Myers, magna cum laude. David Nicola, magna cum laude. Zachary Hunt Powell, cum laude. Wesley Jameson Ross. Henry Tyler Smith, magna cum laude. Kwa Dang Tran, summa cum laude. Angelica L. Vester. Pamela J. Vulalas de Piru, summa cum laude. Lauren Nicole Ware, cum laude. John Steele Waters, cum laude. Malachi H. White, magna cum laude. We now present the graduates in philosophy. Songhyun Che. Olivia Louise Reynolds, magna cum laude. Dustin Jacob Rookregal, cum laude. Alexandra Skidmore. We now present the graduates in political science. Farah Islam Halel, summa cum laude. Catherine Rosemary Amaya Escobar. Maya Plato Tatil Babu. Jackson Connor Corcoran, cum laude. Riley Donahue, cum laude. Michael David Dressler, cum laude. Rowena Embe. Stuart Holton, summa cum laude. Leo Anthony Hodgnowski, magna cum laude. Caroline Johnson. Dylan James Horkan. Nidal Isa Cash. Havanur Kulu, magna cum laude. Stephen Liu. Judith Martinez. Joseph Ramon Martinez. Ava Monique Mason, cum laude. Diana Monike, cum laude. Mana Mustofi Tehrani. Irene Adenika Otunla. Stryker Maximilian Parlett, magna cum laude. Samira Phoenix. Ojuswani Fogat, summa cum laude. Brianna Charlene Polanco Slade. Aurora M. Quezada. Colby Allen Dominic Raber. Shivam Rami, cum laude. Ross Richter, cum laude. Jacob T. Rimland. Yasmin Saidi Benderson. Jada Lily Sanders, cum laude. Alexander Ryan Schultz. Eden Janine Seyum. Ava Knight Sikowski, summa cum laude. Elijah M. Sharp. Ramdeep Singh Suri. Hector M. Vega Roque. Fiona Consuelo Tolentino, summa cum laude. Peter Allen Wilschke, summa cum laude. Brooke Catherine Wright, summa cum laude. We now present the graduates in psychology. S.E.S. Abba. Alexis May Aby, magna cum laude. Angel Ann Adejoke Adeshina, summa cum laude. Roxy Alam, cum laude. Laiba Ali, magna cum laude. Catherine Marlene Angel Beltran. Dina Y. Batris, cum laude. Hazel Alexia Bonilla. Anna G. Boyer, cum laude. Raquel Brannigan. Andrew Santiago Bray, magna cum laude. Shay Tyler Bursky, cum laude. Maximiliano Gerald Casey Bolaños, magna cum laude. Caitlin Grace Carpenito, cum laude. Samantha Chow, cum laude. Sarah A. Chen, magna cum laude. Carolina Elise Cook, summa cum laude. Paulo Coronel, magna cum laude. Cassandra N. Dell. Ne Fatou Hadi Jong. Madeline J. Drexel, magna cum laude. Lucy Judah DuPont. Roa Farag, cum laude. Lindsay Morgan Evix, magna cum laude. Isabella Filoya, magna cum laude. Pamela Milagros Fuentes. Rachel Zoe Fisher, magna cum laude. Shanti Nicole Barracanosa Garde. Emily Elizabeth Geisler, cum laude. Olivia Elise Giuliano, summa cum laude. Leslie Nicole Gooch. Rebecca Noemi Guzman. Kayla Brianna Green. Jada Gross, summa cum laude. Mercedes A. Halford. Brooke Hardin. Brian W. Harris. James Augustus Harris, cum laude. Selma Yehia Hassani, cum laude. Allison Savannah Heiss, summa cum laude. Dolly Yared. Ana Marie Soterio Huertes, cum laude. Alan Matthew Hockenberry. Nia C. Hopkins. Parisima M. Harmozdi. Olivia Louise Hutchinson, magna cum laude. Mariam Ibrahim. Shinaza Ihuama, magna cum laude. Tachiani Imbach, cum laude. Ehizele Ihorobi, magna cum laude. Kayla Jackson, cum laude. Yvonne Jackson. Vivian Patricia Jacobs. Melanie Abelachuku James. Allison Elizabeth John. Fikra Nasir Khalifa. Rachel Keys. Samuel Hyung Ray Kim. Ranitha Pranjala Kota, cum laude. Annette Fung Lee, summa cum laude. Sophia Rose Lepsy, cum laude. Colleen M. Libke. Jonathan Der Young Lin, cum laude. Chauncey Ethan Lynch. Isabella May Maestri, summa cum laude. Katharina Mahabir, cum laude. Kai Malia Messiah. Xiomara Matamoros. Myra Alyssa Margaret Maxwell, cum laude. Jaden Taylor McKeon, cum laude. Nelisa Moreno. Jacob Moyer, summa cum laude. Nicole Munoz. Nathaniel P. Navalis. Faith Elizabeth Neary, summa cum laude. Beza Neguse. Eric Michael Nutzling, summa cum laude. Sandrine Nevi. Ajibola Josephine Ogunoiki. Alexi Alani Ibot Okead, magna cum laude. Stephanie Olvera, summa cum laude. Olowunmi Esther Ononbajo Sequoia, cum laude. Vanessa Tui Hang Pham. Kami Quach. Francis Nicole DeVeas Quijano, magna cum laude. Mohammed Rafiq. Rachel Elizabeth Reiter. Emily Requeno Solarzano. Brittany Rivers. Cynthia Olive Deolinda Roberts. Janira Rodriguez. Roxana Y. Rowe. Ashley Nicole Rugon, magna cum laude. Isabella Salcedo Murillo. Sneha Saravan Kumar. Buse Mariam Sarayildiz. Jenna May Schechter, summa cum laude. Kyle Edward Schuster. Eric Martin Swedgy, summa cum laude. Salome Janine Seyum. Laiba Saher Siddiqui, magna cum laude. John Scora, magna cum laude. Joanna Jamileth Sosa Rosales, magna cum laude. Besuit Teklu Solomon, cum laude. Caroline Grace Stevenson, magna cum laude. Matthew Strawman, magna cum laude. Andrea Justice Suber. Rimsha Sundas. Ria Tapan Sutar, magna cum laude. Jason Allen Tingay. Dominic Edward Tobin, magna cum laude. Anushri Tripathi. Mariama Siobhan Turkstra, magna cum laude. Peace Catherine Omaniyi. Cheryl Umanya, summa cum laude. Andrea X. Umanzer, magna cum laude. Jerica Esperanza Vargas. K.D. Wade. Casey Shea Wagner, summa cum laude. Nasun Waldman. Allison Rose Walter. Colby Noel Whedon. Naomi Williams. Charlie Woods, cum laude. Tyler Wright. Veronika Wrzecinska. Rafa Zaman. Atusa Zarpak. We now present the graduates in Sociology, Anthropology, and Public Health. Ruth Abraham. Selena Jordan Alford, cum laude. Mary Catherine Barrymore. Teresa Elizabeth Booth, cum laude. Faith E. Caron. D'Amico Coleman. Francisco Enrique Crispin Maravilla. Ashley Jennifer De La Guardia. Micaiah Jordan Eaton. Emma Grace Golis, summa cum laude. Drew Good. Harissa Angela Hakami, magna cum laude. Savannah Marie Hutzel, magna cum laude. Titilope Grace Ibiwoye, magna cum laude. Khadija Adan Ibrahim. Patrick Eugene Jones. Kayleen Lee. Anusha Afroz Mashriki, cum laude. Keshav Mathur. Naib A. Mejia, magna cum laude. Sean R. McNutt, magna cum laude. Everett Medina. Mawani Lilia Miller. Brian Muafo. Tamara Parker. Joy Favor Ifedayo Manye. Alberta N. Ndile, cum laude. Florence Aluwach Boya Nyakiti. Oludunke Ukbara. Sifana Osman. Zoe Russell. Jamima Marian Samanasu. Safia Parita Sano, summa cum laude. Shakira Marie Scott Harris. Radhika Shonak Shah. Heather Nicole Shanty, summa cum laude. Zunash Afroz Syed, cum laude. Taiwo Olamide Sani Ojikutu. Jasmine Danita Thornhill, cum laude. Eman A. Tobing, cum laude. Margaret S. Van Vranken. Nia Jana Walker. Max Wasti, magna cum laude. We now present the graduates in theater. Emerson Balthus, summa cum laude. Gabrielle Caitlin Grant, cum laude. Naya Veronica John. Ezra Varian Ormsby, cum laude. Renata Sarian Taylor Smith, summa cum laude. We now present the graduates in visual arts. Alina Afanasenka, magna cum laude. Bisma Ahmed. Hali Aldave. Irieja Allen. Olamilekan Atere, cum laude. Hazel Ray Basden. Juliana Francesca Basso Landsteiner, cum laude. Jenna K. Borlick, cum laude. Hezron James Burks. Sam Chalungsuth, cum laude. Donisha Chandler, cum laude. Timothy Joseph Culligan. Philip Ivan Croft, cum laude. Jacob Delaney. Robert Anderson Dews, cum laude. Maxine Julia Elevitz. Sonia Falkenstein, cum laude. Dylan Joseph Fox. Michelle Astrid Flores. Brian Gutierrez Alvilo. Ryan Elizabeth Haney. Camille Jennifer Hu. Rola Ahmed Hussein, cum laude. Mohammed Gibran. Rebecca A. Jones, magna cum laude. Rebecca Cam, cum laude. Elijah Kowecki. Joseph Allen Kemp, magna cum laude. Joyce Elizabeth Koo, magna cum laude. Nahili Lemu. Thomas William McCormick. Kristen L. Molina, cum laude. Bianca Rebecca Alexandra Morales Cabrera. Darum A. Morales Estrada. Oluwatoni Jemima Olufonmiloye, cum laude. Louis Chang On III. McKenna Taylani Pittman, summa cum laude. Sarah Sharmi Rashid, magna cum laude. Anissa Reed, cum laude. Deborah Masan Shenge, magna cum laude. Matthew Shuck. Kirsten Nicole Snyder, magna cum laude. Brendan Matthew Thompson, magna cum laude. Gabrielle Alexandra Jarks. Destiny Leah Tran, magna cum laude. Hannah Jasmine Tran. Norel Leandra Urbina, magna cum laude. Shannon Kai Hong Vang, summa cum laude.
I now call upon Shelley Weekelt, Associate Dean and Chair of the School of Social Work.
President Cheers Ashby, I have the honor of welcoming the compassionate and courageous students from the School of Social Work who have completed all the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and who are going to change the world.
Bachelor's candidates in the School of Social Work. We now present the graduates in social work. Rocio Agreda. Delina Alexander. Emma Xiomara Amaya Cornejo. Manar Ruba Bisher Anani. Rachel Brianne Batson, cum laude. Nayeli Bermudez Rivera. Emily Ann Bryant. Yeslin Jacqueline Castro Pereira. Abby Marie Clater. Tessa Mackenzie Cohn, cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Dollar. Danielle Jean Violet Douglas. Aisha Drame. Grace Lynn Erb. Blanca Elena Esquivel. Ivan Flores. Jeffrey Pascal Germain. Jessica Marie Gomes. Michael Gagno, magna cum laude. Nichelle C. Griffin. Ilse Yadira Guerrero. Justin Taylor Hicks. Alexandra K. Hill, cum laude. Zachary Hodges. Amber Lee Mae Jefferson. Destiny E. Jennings, magna cum laude. Casey Elizabeth Gilson, magna cum laude. Celia I. Juarez. Mallory Lass. Natan DeVere Lichtman. Jessica Tuyet Mailoy. Krista Ann McCall. Vincent Medina. Yvette Ellen Mingia. Christopher Lane Norman. Khadija Parnell. Alexandra Pereira. Miriam Rendon Ponce. Ifat Rehman. Layla Jocelyn Ruiz. Emily Shucker. Dasi Saralathan. Nicole Anna Schaefer. Liwawit Biruk Tafessa. Rebecca Jacqueline Tercero. Psalms Thomas. Rosalind Suita Tial. Maria de Los Angeles Vides Portela. Sophia Wan. Sierra Wynn Lucas. Karina Alejandra Zelaya.
I now call upon Dana Burr Bradley, Dean of the Erickson School of Aging Studies.
President Shears Ashby, I have the honor of welcoming the aspirational, accomplished, and age-friendly students from the Erickson School of Aging Studies, each who has completed all the requirements for the degree of Bachelor's of Arts.
Bachelor's candidates in the Erickson School of Aging Studies. We now present the graduates in Management of Aging Services. Mary Rose Kahn, cum laude. Dominique Givens. Sivaleshwari Ramu.
Congratulations to now all of our graduates. We are so very proud of each one of you. And now I invite our graduates to participate in a wonderful symbolic tradition. If you would, all of the graduates, please stand. Graduates, this is this moment where you now turn your tassels as a symbol of your graduation from right to left. Congratulations. And now, please join me in welcoming the UMBC Jubilee Singers to lead us in the singing of our alma mater. The choir is conducted by Janice Jackson, director of the UMBC Jubilee Singers and the Gospel Choirs. After the alma mater, we ask that you remain at your seats. Our program will be conducted by our Grand Marshal, and then the platform party and students will recess. Please wait to leave until the platform party has left the floor. Would everyone please stand, if you are able, for the singing of our alma mater. The words can be found on the back of your program.
Hail, alma mater.
Thank you so much to the Jubilee Singers. That was beautiful as usual. I now invite our Grand Marshal, Dr. Susan McDonough, to conclude our ceremony.
Will everyone kindly remain standing until the platform party has recessed? Friends and families are asked to meet your graduates outside of the arena. On behalf of the UMBC community, I wish you congratulations, everyone.
around. I think this might be. Hello? Hello? This is one of the photographers. This phone was found on the polarizers. So who?